Pada Pada, part, chapter, foot, a type of significatory power of words. Face, Navara, Taijasa, Prajna, and Tiraya are the four quarters pada of the self as described in the Mandukya Upanishad. The first three are parts and the fourth is the whole. It means a quarter, as originally it referred to the 4 feet of an animal. Thus, there are 4 parts of the self, or 4 parts to a verse, etc. Sometimes it is used as a honorific ending, applied to form titles of individuals. Example given, Pujapada. See Karmandraya. Padaikavakyata. 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 The syntactic unity of a word to sentence, see ekavakyata. Padartha, category, objects of experience. According to Jainism, there are 2 main categories: individual soul, jiva, and non-soul, ajiva. The individual soul is an extended conscious and material substance. The non-soul is divided into time, kala, space, akasa, medium of motion, dharma, medium of rest, adharma, and matter, pudgala. All these except time are extended non-conscious substances. Time has no parts and thus is not extended. According to Nyaya, there are 16 categories: means of valid knowledge, pramana, objects of valid knowledge, prameya, doubt, samsaya, purpose, prayojana, instances, drishtanta, established conclusion, siddhanta, members of a syllogism, avayava, reductio ad absurdum, tarka. This is another term for Jainism itself, tarka. Arguing, jalpa. Decisive knowledge, nirnaya. Arguing for truth, vada. Mere destructive argument, vitanda. Fallacious reason, hetvabhasa. Quibbling, chala. Specious and unavailing objections, jati, and vulnerable points, nigrahastana. According to vaisesika, there are 7 categories: substance, dravya, quality, guna, activity, karma, generality, samanya, particularity, vishesa, inference, samavaya, and non-existence, abhava. These are defined as what can be known, nyaya, or validly cognized, pramaya, and names, abhidaya. According to Sankhya, there are 2 basic categories: spirit, purusa, and matter, prakriti. The former is conscious, non-active, unchanging, pure, and many. The latter is non-conscious, active, ever-changing, and one. According to Prabhakara Mimamsa, there are 8 categories: substance, dravya, quality, guna, action, karma, generality, samanya, dependence, paratantrata, potency, sakti, similarity, sadrsya, and number, sankhya. According to Bhatha Mimamsa, there are 5 categories: substance, dravya, Bhatha Mimamsa. Substance, dravya, quality, guna, action, karma, generality, samanya, non-existence, abhava. According to visistadvaita vedanta, there are 2 categories: substance, dravya, or non-substance, adravya. The substance are 6 primal matter, prakriti, time, kala, pure matter, suddha, sattva, or nitya, vibhuti, attributive consciousness, dharma, bhuta, jnana, individual soul jiva, and God is Svarta. These non-substances are 10, the 5 qualities of the elements: sound, touch, color, taste, and smell; the 3 qualities guna, primordial nature, prakriti; sattva, rajas, and tamas, potency, sakti; the conjunction samyoga, coordinate, dvaita, vedanta. There are 10 categories: substance, dravya, quality, guna; action, karma; generality, samanya; particularity, vishesa, qualified; visista, whole; unseen, power; sakti, similarity; sadursya, and non-existence, abhava. According to Saiva Siddhanta, the main categories are 3: God, Pati; individual soul, Pashu; and bonds, Pasha. According to Advaita Vedanta, there are 2 empirical categories: spirit, Chit, and non-spirit, Achit. From the absolute standpoint, there is only the absolute Brahman. According to Kashmir Saivism, there are 36 categories: Siva Sakti, Sadasiva, or Sadakya, Isvara, Sadvidya, the power of obscuration; Maya, time, Kala, spatial restriction; Nyati, attachment; Raja, knowledge; Vidya, agency; Kala, individual soul; Purusha, primordial nature; Prakriti, intellect; Buddhi, individuation; Ahankara, mind; Manas, the 5 organs of knowledge; Jnanendriya, and 5 organs of action; Karmendriya, and 5 gross elements; Maha, Bhuta. Pada Sevana, worship of the Lord's feet, see Bhakti. Padma, lotus, the goddess; Padmasana, lotus posture, most important posture for meditation, formed by sitting on the ground with the back erect, placing the right foot over the left thigh and the left foot over the right thigh. Both hands can be placed on the knee joints. Padodaka, drinking the water used to clean the guru's or the jain Jangama's feet. According to Veda saivism, there's a taking of the water which is used to clean either the guru's or a Jangama's feet, or the water which is used to worship the linga, and drinking it as sacred prasada. It is said to purify the threefold body of a spiritual aspirant. Paduka, sandals, the sandals of the guru; Paka, heat, cooking, ripening, baking; Paksa, minor term, subject; Prabandham, it is that in which the presence of the Prabandham is not known for certain, and it is yet to be proved. The mountain is the Prabandham, when smoke is the Prabant. It is a subject where the character is inferred. Example given: fire, the character, it is inferred on the hill, the subject. It is of 2 kinds: Sapaksa, a similar instance in which the Prabandham is known for certain, and Vipaksa, a counterexample in which the non-existence of the Prabandham is known for certain. See Parvapaksa. It is one of 2 factors essential in an inferential process. Not only must there be the knowledge of the universal concomitance between the mark and the predicted character, but also the observation of the mark as being present in the subject, Paksa. The former is called Vyapti Jnana, and the latter is called Paksa Dharmata Jnana. It is also known as a period of time, 14 days, a fortnight. Paksha, minor term, subject, Prabandham. Paksabasa, fallacy of the minor term or subject. Paksabasa, fallacy of the minor term or subject. Paksabasa. Paksa Dharmata Jnana. Paksa Dharmata Jnana, knowledge of the subject as having the mark. It is one of the 2 factors necessary for an inferential process. It is the observation of the mark as being present in the subject. It is the minor premise about which the assertion has been made. It must be invariable and universal for the inference to be valid. See Linga Paramasa. Pancha Beda, the five differences. According to Advaita Vedanta, difference is fivefold. Difference between God and the individual soul, between different individual souls, between God and matter, between individual souls and matter, and between matter and matter itself in its various forms. Pancho Beda Panchaka Panchabhuta Viveka. Panchabhuta Viveka, Inquiry into the Five Elements, the title of the second chapter, the Panchadasi, and the method which inquires into the nature of the five elements in order to demonstrate that the real is not the objective world made of the five elements. According to Advaita Vedanta, when all the elements are denied, only existence sat remains. The principle employed is, what is grosser and more external is less real than the subtler, more internal, more pervasive. As the self is the subtlest and innermost being, it is most supremely real according to Advaita Vedanta. Panchachara, five codes of conduct. According to Vira saivism, there are five ethical codes of conduct. One should daily worship the linga, remain strictly monotheistic, and admit all rules only on the basis of knowledge. Lingachara, one must work for one's livelihood, be righteous, and help others. Sadachara, and one should see everyone as Lord Siva. Sivachara, one should be humble to Lord Siva and his devotees. Bhartyachara, one should strive for the upliftment of all. Ganachara, these are the disciplines necessary as aids which precede the 6 stages of consciousness. Sthala. Panchagni Vidya. Panchagni Vidya, knowledge of the five fires, the eschatological doctrine of the five fires toward as a form of meditation, is the Chandogya Upanishad. Pancha Kanchuka, the five sheaths, the five restrictors or constrictors, the five obscuring coverings. According to Kashmir saivism, there are five categories: the power of time, color, the power of natural law, nyati, the power of attachment, and raga, the power of limited knowledge, vidya, and the power of limited action, kala, which are called the five sheaths, and which envelope the individual soul, making for its finitude. The soul which is thus enveloped in the sheaths is called the purusa. Panchakarani, the five causes. The five conditions involved in determining a causal condition. Neither the cause nor the effect is perceived. The cause is perceived in immediate succession. The effect is perceived. The cause disappears in immediate succession. The effect disappears. Pancha Kosha Viveka, Inquiry into the five sheaths. The title of the third chapter, the Panchadasi. It is a method employed to demonstrate that the self is not a psychophysical organism. The principle employed is, what is grosser and more external is less real than the subtler, more internal, more pervasive. As the self is the subtlest and the most innermost being, it is the most supremely real according to Advaita Vedanta. Pancha-kirtya, the fivefold activity. According to Kashmir saivism, Siva is said to perform five actions: creation, sarsti, maintenance, sthiti, dissolution, samhara, obscuration, tirthankaras, and grace, anugraha. Pancha Mahavrata, the five great vows. See Mahavrata. Pancha Makara, Panchamakara, the five M's: Madhya, wine; Mamsa, meat; Matsya, fish; Mudra, parched grain; Maithuna, koishan, are the five essential elements in the worship of the goddess Sakti. Wine, meat, fish, grain. Panchanga, five limbs or parts. The traditional Indian calendar. The name of the traditional Hindu calendar. It includes five basic elements: Tithi, Nakshatra, Karana, Yoga, and Vara, Vasara. It is a sophisticated tool for planning. It provides precise information about unseen astrological factors, planets, and stars, which influence and alter the nature of the subtle environment. Pancharashtra, Vaisnava Agama, a system belonging to the Agama class 5 knights. It consists of authoritative source books, according to both Visistadvaita and Dvaita Vedanta, which are attributed attributed to Lord Vishnu. Some of the more important works include Brihad Brahma Samhita, Jnana Martasara Samhita, Isvara Samhita, Pauskara Buddhya Samhita, and Padma Samhita. It is a Vaisnavite sect, also known by the names Narayanaya, Satvata, Ekantika, and Bhagavata. They worship Vasudeva Krishna with his four emanations, Vyuha, Vasudeva Krishna, Vasudeva. Panchasila, five moral precepts. The five moral precepts which every Buddhist lay disciple, upasaka, and every monk bhiksu must promise to observe abstinence from injuring others, pranatipata, stealing, adatanadana, incontinence, abrahmacharya, lying, marsavada, and temperance, sarda mireya, paramadastana, pancha skanda, the five arrogants, see Anumana, Pancha Vakya. Vakya, a syllogism with five members. These are thesis, pratijna, reason, hetu, universal proposition, udaharana, the application, upayana, and the conclusion, nigamana, panchayata, council 5, traditional Indian village government council, panchikarana, quintuplication, the theory that every physical object contains all the five elements in various proportions. In the Upanishads, there was reference only to 3 elements, but the Vedanta extended it to 5 elements. See Brahma Sutra. Visistadvaita Vedanta employs a theory to explain their theory, a vira known as cognition of the real. Satkakyati Pandita, learned individual, scholar, pundit, pani, hand, one of the 5 organs of action. See Karmendriya. Papa, sin, demerit, evil actions which produce sorrow. According to Jainism, one of the aspects of non-self, ajiva. Papopadesha, desisting from advising people to engage in agriculture, which leads to the killing of insects. This is a limb of anarthadanda, which is one of the minor duties placed upon householders within Jain ethics. Pada, higher universal, beyond supreme, transcendent. According to Sankhya, it is one of the 9 kinds of lateness or contentment. Tusti, here it refers to the idea that no exertion toward liberation is necessary because of the troubles which come of earning one's living. According to vaisesika, it is a type of quality guna representing universality, a term employed in the Upanishads to describe knowledge relating to reality. Generally, 4 stages of sound are distinguished: supreme sound, para, visible sound, which can be heard as om pasyanti; middle sound, which refers to a variety of basic sounds, matarka, that are very subtle, madhyama, and manifest sound, vikara, which is the gross level of sound and is what is heard in ordinary speech, see sabda. Para bhakti, supreme devotion. From para equals supreme plus bhakti equals devotion. Supreme devotion is of 5 types: Santa Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya. See bhakti. Para Abraham, para Braham, the supreme being, the divine as transcendent, that which is beyond all dualities. From para equals supreme, and Brahman equals absolute. Para Brahman. According to Advaita Vedanta, it is the supercosmic divine who supports with its timeless and spaceless existence the entire cosmic manifestation of its own being in time and space. It is infinite, attributeless, and without name and form. See Brahman. Para Dinatva, the other dependent to be dependent upon God. Deva Dinam Jagat Sarvam. Para Dinatva. Parajati, highest universal from para equals supreme, jati equals universal. Jati, Sanskrit for universal. For example, sata, Sanskrit for being, is the highest universal being. Sata, like sattva, sata. In a nyaya vaisesika system, parajnana. Wisdom, supreme knowledge from para equals supreme, jnana equals knowledge. It is devotion awakened by sastraic knowledge according to visistadvaita, vedanta, see bhakti. Parak, external, the transcendent. Parakdarshti, outward vision. Paralakika, transempirical, transcendent, beyond this world. Parama, high, supreme. Parama bhakti, the quintessence of devotion from Parama equals supreme, plus bhakti equals devotion. According to visistadvaita Vedanta, it is an unquestionable thirst for God. Parabhakti, see bhakti. Parama guru, one's teacher's teacher, a grandfather, guru. Supreme guru within Advaita Vedanta, Gaudapada is known as Sankaracharya's Paramanguru, Paramanu Atam, the minutest conceivable particle of matter, which cannot be further divided. According to Buddhism, it consists of the fourfold substratum of color, smell, taste, and contact. It is the minutest form of rupa, cannot be divided, seen, analyzed, tasted, or felt, yet it is not permanent, but a mere momentary flash into being. Single atoms are called Draya Paramanu, compound atoms are called Sangata Paramanu. 7 Paramanus combine together to form an Anu, and in this form it becomes visible. According to vaisesika, the 4 elements, earth, water, fire, and air, comprise the 4 kinds of atoms. They differ qualitatively, with their respective qualities being smell, taste, color, and touch, yet the atoms have no parts and are non-spatial. The smallest visible substance is constituted of 3 dyads called triyanuka. The 2 atoms constitute a dyad, dhyanuka. According to Sankhya, atoms are of 5 types: space, air, fire, water, earth, akasa, vayu, tejas, ap, and bhutadi. They are venerated from the subtle elements tanmatra. Paramapada, the highest abode, the supreme abode, Vaikunta of Lord Vishnu. It is the immaterial, self-luminous, infinite realm of Vaikunta. Paramapada, the highest abode, supreme abode, another term for Vaikunta. Paramapada is Vaikunta, another term for heaven. Okay, it is the immaterial, luminous, infinite realm of Vaikunta. Vaikuntha Loka, her highest abode, supreme abode, Paramapada, Paramarsha, subsumptive reflection, self-experience, understanding the minor premise in relation to the major premise is called subsumptive reflection, is the ratiocinative process that makes known the fact that the reason, which is universally concomitant with the inferred character, is present in the subject. The principle involved in this process is subsumption, or the correlation of a particular case with the universal pervading it. The sata, universal pervading it. For example, when a particular case of smoke on a hill has been perceived, the presence of fire can be inferred because the smoke is subsumed under the generalization involving the universal pervasion of smoke by fire. Silinga Paramarsa. Paramartha, the highest purpose or goal, absolute truth, real reality from Parama, highest artha equal purpose. According to Advaita Vedanta, it is the highest of the 3 levels of reality. It represents the absolute truth, see vyavacharika and pratibhasika. This term is contextual, for it is used with regard to the absolute for the purpose of distinguishing it from all else. Paramartha Satya, the transcendental truth according to madhyamika Buddhism. Paramartika, the absolute real, the from parama, highest, plus artha equals purpose. According to Advaita Vedanta, it is the highest of the 3 levels of reality. It represents the absolute truth, see vyavacharika and pratibhasika. This term is contextual, for it is used with regard to the absolute for the purpose of distinguishing it from all else. Param Atman, the Supreme Self, Brahma, God, the Absolute from Parama, highest Atma Self. According to Sankhya, the conscious individual Purusa is called Paramatman. Paramatman, the Supreme Self, the Absolute. which is also Brahman and God, right? It's also the supreme self, Param Atman, Parama Avadi, a type of clairvoyance. Parama Avadi. According to Jainism, in this type of clairvoyance, the range is not so limited by spatial and temporal conditions. See Avadi, Paramasvara, the Supreme Lord, Siva, from Parama equals highest, Isvara equals Lord. Paramisvara, Isvara, Sanskrit for Lord. Okay, one of my names is Isvara Vaikunta. Isvara, Lord of Vaikunta, Isvara equals Lord. Paramisvara, Parama equals highest. Right? So we got Paramartya Satya, the transcendental truth, according to the highest truth, right? Paramartha Satya, Sanskrit for truth, maybe. Paramartha Satya, the highest transcendental truth. Paramartika, the absolute reality, highest, artha, purpose, highest purpose. Paramatman, the highest self, highest Atma self, the supreme self. Parama Avadi, type of clairvoyance. Paramesvara, the supreme lord, Siva. From Parama equals highest, Isvara equals lord, Paramesvara. Paramita, the highest ideals of spiritual perfection. Virtues. According to Buddhism, these virtues guide and assist aspirant on the path to perfection. They have 3 stages: ideals from the worldly life, ideals for the mental life, and ideals for the spiritual life. They are 6 in number: dana or charity, and love, sila or good behavior, kasanti or patience, virya or zeal, dhyana or meditation, and prajna or wisdom. Param Jyoti, supreme light. From para equals supreme, and artha equals goal, jyoti equals light, jyoti. Param Jyoti. Param Jyoti. Parampara, tradition, one following another, lineage, succession, uninterrupted succession. See Guru Parampara. Parampara Sambandha, indirect relation. Paramukta, highest liberation. From para equals highest plus moksa equals liberation. Paramukta, individual souls completely liberated according to Saiva siddhanta. See Jiva Parseva siddhanta. Para, one of the 9 types of defects. According to Sankhya, it is the natural wasted things earned by enjoyment. See Tusti, Pararda. 1,000 crores of crores, 1,000 million. Pararta Anumana. Inference through the help of articulated propositions for convincing knowledge in a debate. According to Nyaya, it's one of the 2 classes of inference. It is inference for the sake of another. This type of inference requires the formulation of the 5-membered syllogism in order to arrive at a conclusion. Buddhism also makes this twofold division of inference into svrata anumana and parartha anumana. According to Mimamsa, this type of inference only needs 3 members of a syllogism: pratijna, hetu, and drastanta. See anumana. Parartha anumana. Parasamvit. Parasamvit, the supreme experiencing principle, absolute experience, self-luminous knowledge, pure consciousness, Siva. According to Kashmir saivism, it is the supreme reality, 1, indivisible and infinite. It is conscious, Chaitanya, and it is not exhausted by its innumerable and diverse manifestations in the universe, nor is it limited or conditioned by space, time, or form. It transcends all. As such, it is called the absolute anuttara. Parasparasraya. Reciprocal dependence, a type of logical fallacy. See Ananyasraya. Parasarama, Rama with the battle axe. From Parasu equals axe, and Rama equals the light, incarnation of Vishnu. See Avatara, Parata Pramanyavada, Parata Pramanyavada, Pramanyavada, the theory of extrinsic validity, the theory of the Nyaya school, which says that knowledge is not self-evidently valid as it arises, but becomes valid only on fulfilling certain extrinsic conditions. The conditions of validity and invalidity of knowledge are other than the conditions of knowledge itself. See Svata Pramanya Vada. Parata Pramanya Vada. Paratantra, externally valid, dependent, one of the three types of knowledge according to Arya Sangha. It is relative knowledge which exists of the mind, and for philosophers at this level, empirical phenomena are recognized to be relative and interdependent. Parikalpita, paratantriya, dependence on God, paratastva, extrinsicality, paratographia, made out extrinsically. Paradatva, a type of quality, guna, which gives rise to perception of a long duration of time, remoteness of space. According to nyaya vaisesika, it is indicative of special and temporal remoteness. Paravidya, the higher of knowledge, wisdom. The Upanishads sometimes make a distinction between the higher and lower truth. In the Mundaka Upanishad, the former is the knowledge of the absolute Brahman, and the latter is the knowledge of empirical things. Generally, it is the supreme knowledge of the ultimate or imperishable reality. It is knowledge of the self. Paracharana, attending, rendering service. Paravidya, the higher knowledge. Paravidya, wisdom. Paracharana, attending, rendering service. Parachina. Finite determination, limited. Parigraha, acceptance. Parihara, a logical category, and a logical category found in the Charaka Samhita. Parikalpa, conceived to imagine, creation from within. Parikalpita, illusory, imaginary. One of the three stages of knowledge according to Yogacara Buddhism. Arya Sangha says that this knowledge is as simple, everyday, ignorant individuals hold. At this level, what is imagined appears as real. See Paratantra and Parinispana, Parikrama, circumambulation, to traverse around. Pariksa, inquiry, examination. Parimana, size, quantity, measure. Nyaya vaisesika divides size into anuparima, hrasva parima, mahat parimana. They also say that the size of the atoms of space, time, ether, mind, and self, Atman, are eternal and all-pervasive. Parimandalya, globular, round, atomic size. According to Nyaya vaisesika, atomic size is eternal and unchanging in itself. It is the measure of an atom. It is the smallest conceivable size. Parimiti, measure size. According to Nyaya vaisesika, it is that entity of quality in things by virtue of which individuals perceive them as great or small and speak of them as such. It is one of the 6 classes of categories. Padartha, parinama, change, modification, transformation, evolution, development, ripening, changing. Parinama vada, parinama vada. Parinamavada, transformation theory, the theory that cause is continually transforming itself into its effects. According to Brahman Parinamavada, the world is a transformation of absolute Brahman. And according to Prakriti Parinamavada, the world is a transformation of primordial nature, Prakriti. According to Sankhya, causation is the manifestation of what is in a condition in the cause. That is, the effect exists already in a cause in a potential state, and the causal operation only makes patent what is latent in the cause. This series is called Sadkaryavada. Visistadvaita Vedanta also accepts this theory. Saiva Siddhanta holds that the world is a transformation of the primordial nature. Prakriti Parinamavada, Parinispana, absolute, one of the 3 types of knowledge of Buddhism. According to Adya Sangha, this is the perfect knowledge which the Buddha is said to possess. Parisahajaya, the ability to remain steadfast on a religious path and bear suffering while remaining such. According to Jainism, this is one of the Bhava Samvaras. See Bhava Samvara. It is employed to control the inrush of material karma particles into the individual. Sankhya Vidi, Sankhya Vidi, exclusive injunction, one of the three classes of injunctions. When two or more things of unknown value are enjoined, one must choose according to the scriptures, which is enjoined. What is enjoined is already known, but not necessarily as possible alternatives. For instance, a mantra may be used in a number of places, but there are cases where it should not be used. Sividi, parashesa, elimination, exclusion, residue, knowing something by means of elimination. Parasesamana, reductio ad absurdum, a type of fallacious inference. This type consists in asserting anything because it is already known to be so. Parispanda, molecular movement. Parivrajaka, one who has renounced the world. A sannyasin, one who wanders. Parivrajaka, one who has renounced the world. A sannyasin, one who wanders. That's a nice one. Parivrajaka, also known as a sannyasin. Parivrajaka sannyasin, one who wanders. Paradoxa, non-perceptual, indirect, immediate. Paradoxa jnana, immediate knowledge. Parvati, daughter of the mountain, Siva's consort, divine mother. Paryaya, mode, change, a Jaina term applying to the changes which occur in the attributes of substances. The individual jiva has four modes: divine, human, hell dweller, and animal: divya, manusya, narakaya, and tiryak. Divine, divya; human, manusya; hell dweller, narakaya, and animal, tiryak. Modes are of two kinds: dravya pardhyaya, which gives a vision of unity in a diversity of modes. Example given: a green fruit or a ripe fruit is always fruit. This mode is of two kinds: samana jatiya dravya pardhyaya and asamana jatiya dravya pardhyaya. The second type of mode is jiva pardhyaya, mode, change. Parvati, daughter of the mountain, the divine mother. Paradoxa jnana, immediate knowledge. Paradoxa, immediate, indirect, not perceptional. Pardhyaya nyaya, See Pardhyayartika nyaya. Pardhyayartika nyaya. The viewpoint of modes. According to Pardhyaya mode, right? Pardhyayatika nyaya. The viewpoint of modes. According to Jainism, this is the viewpoint which considers the modifications and conditions of an object. It indicates the infinite standpoints possible when reality is analyzed from the point of view of the modes it possesses. It is of four types: standpoint of momentariness, Ryu Sutra Nyaya, synonym Sabda Nyaya, etymological standpoint Sambaruda Nyaya, etymological standpoint Samabaruda Nyaya, such like standpoint Evambuta Nyaya, Pasha, bond, fetter, reins, rope, literally a rope. It is comprised of three strands: impurity of ignorance, anava; impurity of action, karma; and the power of obscuration, maya. These three tie the individual soul into bondage. Anava is ignorance. It is a beginningless, positive, inert entity which causes delusion. It is the original cause of the individual's bondage. It has two powers, avaraka sakti and adanyamika sakti. Action, karma, is the bond forged by actions of thought, word, or deed. These produce merit and demerit, which tie the individual to the wheel of birth and death. The mind provides the individual with its bodies, instruments, and objects of experience. It creates the universe for one's advancement. Though under the influence of ignorance, it is misused and becomes a fetter. See mala, pasha, mala, klesha, pasha, bond, fetter, reins, rope. Pasha, a bond, a fetter. Pasanda, heretic, hypocrite, unbeliever. Pasanda, pasu, individual soul. Animal, slave. An individual soul by nature is infinite, pervasive, and omniscient. According to saiva siddhanta, however, due to impurities, individuals experience themselves as finite, limited, and ignorant. These impurities which bind the individual are three: anava, karma, and maya, see pasa. According to Saiva Siddhanta, individuals are divided into three classes: Sakala, Pralayakala, and Vijnanakala. As they exist with either all three impurities, or in the first two impurities, or only Anava, individuals are infinite in number and are related to the Lord as the body is related to the soul. According to Kashmir saivism, the individual is nothing but the universal self appearing under limitation. Not only is the nature of the real veiled, but also an apparent plurality of souls is projected by Maya. Each of these individuals is called Pashu because the non-spatial self is limited. See Jiva. Pasupata. Pasupata, philosophical theory of one of the Saiva schools. It is one of Saiva sects, and sometimes Saiva systems are called thus because Siva is the lord of the individual. Pasupata. Pasupati, Lord of individuals, Lord Siva, Lord of animals. Pasupati, Lord Siva, Lord of animals, right? Pasupati, when we study horn deities, antler deities, you got Pasupati to the east, similar to the Cernunnos to the west, right? Similar to the Pan of Egypt, the Theos of the Scythians, right? The satyrs of Greek mythos, right? Faunos, maybe Bacchus and Dionysos, all these goat type of deities. Okay, you got Pasupati, you got Baphomet, obviously. You got Hern, okay. Got a lot of the wild man, the man of the woods. You got a lot of horned, antlered deities. Pasupati is one of those, another term for Lord Siva. Siva sometimes, many times depicted in sitting in an asana, right? Surrounded by animals, immersed in the natural realms. Okay, Pasupati, Pasyanti. The first pre-articulated aspect is sound. Sound in a subtle form as it starts to manifest before reaching the mind. Visible sound. Generally, 4 stages of sound are distinguished: supreme sound, para, visible sound, which can be heard as om, pasyanti; middle sound, which refers to a variety of basic sounds, matraka, that are very subtle, madhyama; the manifest sound, yogacara, which is the gross level of sound and is what is heard in ordinary speech. See sabda, patala, hell, netherworld, the nether pole of Bhuloka. According to Hindu tradition, it is one of the 14 worlds. Tala and Loka. I don't even have Hindu tradition on this thing, do I? I don't think I do. Wow. According to Hindu tradition, it's one of the 14 worlds. See Tala and Loka. Patala, hell, netherworld. Patanjali. Name of philosopher and the greatest exponent of the yoga philosophy. Patanjali. He is the author of the Yoga Sutras. There is a Patanjali who is the reputed author of the Mahabhasya, the great commentary on Panini's Sutras or grammar. Pati, Lord, God, Master, Siva. Siva is the Lord of all beings in the highest reality, according to the Saiva schools. He is the only independent substance, according to Saivism. Origination, maintenance, and destruction have their origin in him, but he himself does not undergo any change. He is the unchanging ground of all that changes. He is the efficient cause of the world. He has 8 qualities: independence, purity, self-knowledge, omniscience, freedom from impurities, omnipotence, bliss, and grace. He is both immanent and transcendent. He has 5 functions: creation, srishti, preservation, sthiti, destruction, samhara, obscuration, tirodhana, and grace, anugraha. He has 8 names: Rudra, Sarva, Ugra, Asani, Bhava, Pasupati, Mahadeva, and Isana. Rudra, Sarva, Ugra, Asani, Bhava, Pasupati, Mahadeva, and Isana. Pati, you got Pasupati, right? Pasu, individual soul, animal, the soul. Pasupati. Then you got Pati, Siva, God, Master, Lord. Okay. Patu pratyaya, vivid cognition. Paudgala, made of material matter. Paruseya, personal, what originates from a person. Pavana, fire, holy, purifying. Pavitra, holy, pure. Payasa, a sweet rice pudding prepared with or made from milk. Payu, that's my favorite. Payu, anus, organ of creation, excretion, excuse me. Payu, anus, organ of excretion, that's fun. One of the 5 organs of action. Karmendriya. Phala, fruit, result. Phala bhakti, devotion, which is the result of God's grace given spontaneously. See bhakti. Phala vyapyatva. Phala vyapyatva. Pervasion by knowledge. According to Advaita, Vedanta is one of the 2 conditions necessary for something to be an object of knowledge. Sivarti vyapyatva. Falibhutajnana, resultant cognition. Falibhutajnana, pilupaka, pilupaka, heating of atoms. According to vaisesika, it is the impact of heat upon simple atoms, which decompose dvanukas into simpler arrangements so that new characteristics or qualities may arise. There is first a disintegration into simple atoms, then change of atomic qualities, and then a final recombination. Compare pitharapaka. Pinda, part of the whole, individual, small bowl of rice offered to one's ancestors as an oblation. Pinda, pingala, reddish brown, tawny, one of the 3 chief subtle nerves or arteries, a channel, nadi, that originates at the base of the spine and terminates at the right nostril, called the sun nadi because of its heating effect. See nadi in Ida. Pishaka, demon. A pishaka, demon, ogre, imp, devil, vampire, from the verb root pish, to crave meat, love meat. Pish, is it a shish? Might be a shish. Pish, to crave meat. Pishaka, pishacha, ooh, excuse me. Pishacha, a demon, an ogre, an imp, a devil, a vampire. A pish, to crave meat. Pishacha. Pita. Seat, throne, chair indicates both the center or essence of traditional lineage or of a monastery and a person who sits upon a seat in that center. Pitarapaka. Heating of molecules. According to Nyaya, heat directly affects the character of molecules and changes their qualities without affecting a change in the atoms. Compared with Pilopaka, as this is one of the few points of difference between the later Nyaya and vaisesika schools. Pitastana, location of a monastery. Peter, ancestor, forefather. Dhyana, path of ancestors. The way of the ancestors in which the individual soul journeys until after death. It once more enters the womb to be born again. Pita, gal. In Ayurveda, it is one of the bodily humors. Dhatu has the following qualities: fatness, hardness, pungent, and liquid. Pita, gal. Peter, ancestor, forefather. Pitastana, location of a monastery. Peter, ancestor, forefather. Peter. Dhyana, path of ancestors, the way to ancestors, in which the individual soul journeys until after death. It once more enters the womb to be born again. Pita, gal, in Ayurveda is one of the bodily humors, dhatu, and has following qualities: fatness, hardness, pungent, and liquid. Prabandha, fasten. Charak, hinder, to bind. Prabha, effulgence, shine, splendor. From prabha equals to shine. Prabhakarti. See this shit? Prabhakati. But it's saying it's ri. Prabhakarti. But it says a ri, but that's a T. Illumination from Prabha to shine, Karta to do. See Bodhisattva. Prabhu, Lord, excelling, mighty, powerful master. From the verb root bu, to become, hence to rule. Plus pra equals fourth. Pracharya, abundance. Pradaksina, right facing, respect, show through action, certain actions like prostration. The sacred act of worshipful circumambulation, walking clockwise around a temple sanctorum or a holy place. Pradesha, extension, body, mode. Pradana, the originator, promoting about the original source of the material universe, foundation. See Prakriti. Pradana, Kshetrajnana. Pradana, Kshetrajna, Patargunesha. Pradvam Sambhava, annihilative or posterior non-existence, the non-existence of a thing that is destroyed, it has a beginning but no end. According to Nyaya, the Advaita Vedantins hold that this type of non-existence has an end also. Siya Bhava, Pradyumna, one of the manifestations of God. He creates the universe, introduces all qualities, dharma. According to visistadvaita Vedanta, he emanates from sankarsana, and from him emanates aniruddha. He possesses in the highest degree lordship and virility. He hypostatizes into trivikrama, vamana, and siddhartha. See vyuha, pragabhava, antecedent, or prior non-existence. Non-existence of an object before it comes into being. It is said to be beginningless, but this non-existence obviously comes to an end when the object in question is brought into being. Siyabhava. Praraniki pravarti, imposed volition. Prajapati, Lord of creatures, creator, Lord of becoming. From praja equals creation, plus pati equals Lord. God who divided himself into male and female, the highest manifestation of the absolute Brahman, who is known by such names as Hiranyagarbha, Sutratman, Prana, and so on. Prajapati. Lord of creatures, creator, Lord of becoming. From praja equals creation, pati equals Lord. Prajapati, Lord of creatures. Prajapati. Prajna, wisdom, intuitive wisdom, gnosis. Gnosis, that's a good word. Prajna, Prajna, gnosis is obviously the Greek where we get Gnostics. And you get the English term knowledge, right? Gnosis. Prajna, the intuitive wisdom, the highest knowledge, according to Mahayana Buddhism, is one of the 6 virtues of Buddhism. See Paramita, individual form of the self as the witness of the omniscience in the state of sleep. It is also known as Anana Dhamaya. The experiencer in deep sleep is called the prajna when there is no determinate knowledge but only pure bliss and pure consciousness. Prajnanam Brahman. Prajnanam Brahman. Consciousness is the absolute Brahman. A Mahavakya, great saying, which occurs in the Aitareya Upanishad of the Rig Veda. Prajna Paramita. Prajna Paramita, the highest wisdom, the perfection of wisdom. It is the name of the Buddhist scriptures of the Mahayana school which deal with the emptiness of all things. Prajnapati. Prajnapati. Prajnapti, Prajnapti. Prajnapti, experience. Prakamya. Prakamya, the power by which impediments to the willpower are removed. Impediments to the willpower are removed. See Asta Aisvardya Prakarya, impediments, impede means to slow down or halt. Impediments. So to remove those impediments. To strengthen willpower. Prakamya, prakamya, prakarya, mode. Adjunct, prakarya, prakarana. Chapter, section, topic, a short manual which confines itself to some essential topics of a scripture, sastra. A prakarana treatise has 4 indispensable elements or anubandha. The determination of the fitness of a student for the student of the treatise, adhikari, the subject matter, vishaya, the mutual relationship between the treatise and the subject matter, sambandha, and the object to be attained by the study, prayojana. Prayojana, a prakarana treatise, is defined as sastre kadesmasa bandham sastra kardayantra tardastitam. A prakarana treatise is defined as a prakarana has chapters, sections, topics. Prakarana is defined as sastre kadeshamasa bandham. Sastre kadeshamasa bandham. Sastra kardayan tardastitam. Ahu prakaranam namagranya bedam vipaschita. It is the context. It is one of the principles by which to decide whether or not there obtains a subsidiary relation. See Angatva Bodhaka Pramana Prakarana Granta. Prakarana Granta. Introductory book or manual independent treatise. Prakarana Granta. Prakarana Sama. Prakarana Sama. Similar topic or reason, a logical fallacy in an inferential process, in which the reason hetu is contradicted by counter-inference. Sound, example given, sound is eternal because it is audible, is contradicted by the inference. Sound is non-eternal because it is produced. See Hedvabhasa. Prakara, prakari bhava. Prakara, prakari bhava, the relation between the modes and that which has modes. Prakasha, shining, luminous, effulgence, illumination, pure consciousness, from the verb root kash, to shine, and pra, forth. One of the 2 aspects of paramasiva, the ultimate reality, is the principle of self-revelation, which illuminates everything. Consciousness, the principle by which everything else is known. Prakya, a stage of consciousness from teeth out, which is predominated by the pure element, sattva guna, and in which the clouded element, tamoguna, remains in subordination. Prakarsta mahatva. Prakarsta mahatva, higher magnitude. Prakarti, primal nature, primordial nature, creatrix, from the verb root kara, to make, to do. Pra equals forth. According to Sankhya, it is called pradhana and avyakta. Matter is one of the 2 categories basic to its system. It is fundamentally active, but non-conscious. It is fundamentally one and imperceptible. It is the source of the universe and can be inferred from its effects. It is a composite of three constituents called gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. According to visistadvaita Vedanta, it is one of the six substances. Unlike in Sankhya, the qualities guna are the qualities of primal nature, prakriti, and not its constituents. These qualities are inseparable from it, but not identical with it. It is inseparably related to God, is dvaita, and dependent upon Him. Unlike the independent prakriti of Sankhya, it is a dwelling place, an individual, and through it, of God Himself. Sankhya's prakriti is infinite, but here it is limited above by the eternal manifestation, nitya vibhuti, according to Advaita Vedanta. It is a principle of evolution, maya, and therefore not fundamentally real. It is a phenomenon, but not a phantasm, however. According to Dvaita Vedanta, it is the material cause of the world and one of the 20 substances, dravya, pralaya, periodic cosmic dissolution, from the verb root, li, to dissolve, away. It is a period of repose or reabsorption. It is of three types: eternal, nitya, which is the sleep in which every effort dissolves from the time being occasional; naiyayikas, which occurs at the end of the day of Brahma; and prakrita, which occurs at the end of an epoch of Brahma, the dissolution and reabsorption of the universe; at the end of a kalpa, the passive phase or potential period when all manifestations are dormant. All the Indian schools, excepting the Mimamsa school, accept this theory. Pralaya kala, time of dissolution. Pralaya kala. God, individual jiva, a type of disembodied soul. Experiencing subjects or individual souls resting in the maya tattva during dissolution pralaya, they are not cognizant of anything and possess no physical body, only the subtle body. One of the 7 kinds of knowers, according to Kashmir saivism, see sapta pramatar. It is a type of individual soul which is subject to the 2 bonds or limitations of ignorance, anava, and action, karma, simala. It is the individual as it exists at the time of dissolution. Ignorance, Sanskrit for ignorance, is anava. Pralaya kevalin, or avidya. Pralaya vidya, ignorance. Avidya and anava. Pralaya kevalin, a type of individual soul according to Kashmir saivism. Prama, valid knowledge, true knowledge, for in the verb root ma, to measure, plus pra equals before or forward. According to nyaya, it is true presentational knowledge. Yatha arthanubhava, it is a definite and assured cognition of an object which is true and presentational in character. According to the sautrantika and vaibhasika schools, you got sautrantika and you got vaibhasika schools, it is the identity of content between a cognition and cognitum. This is a realist view which posits that the object determines the cognition's validity. According to Advaita Vedanta, it is knowledge which possesses non-contradictedness, advaita, and novelty, or sometimes just the former. According to Bhatta Mamsa, it is primary and original knowledge, anadigata. According to Prakarta Mamsa, Bhatta Mamsa, Prakarta Mamsa, it is immediate experience, anubhuti. According to Vaisesika school, it is the unique operative cause of both true presentational knowledge and memory. According to Jainism, it is immediate presentational knowledge and immediate knowledge insofar as they are true. According to visistadvaita Vedanta, all knowledge is of the real. Its mark is that it is practically useful. According to Sankhya, it is knowledge not previously known, anadigata, free from error and above doubt. Pramada, negligence, slip, error. pramadacharana, to desist from attending the theater, gambling, etc. This is one limb of the Jain ethical code. Anarthadanda, pramana, means of valid knowledge, logical proof, means of cognition from the verb root ma, to measure, and pra equals before or forward. Pramana, means of valid knowledge, logical proof, means of cognition. It is pramana, it is instrument karana of valid knowledge. As the cause, so the effect, mana dina maya cd. According to each system, the number of pramanas accepted as valid will depend upon the types of knowledge that are recognized. The carvaka materialist school accepts perception pratyaksa as the only means of valid knowledge. The Buddhists and vaisesika accept perception and inference, anumana. The jainas, sankhya, yoga, visistadvaita, vedanta, and dvaita vedanta accept perception, inference, and verbal testimony, sabda, nyaya accept perception, inference, verbal testimony, and comparison, upamana. The Prabhakara Mimamsa school accepts perception, inference, verbal testimony, comparison, and presumption, arthapati. The Bhakti Mimamsa and the Advaita accept perception, inference, verbal testimony, comparison, presumption, and non-cognition, anupalabdhi. Saiva siddhanta accepts siva chitsakti as the only valid means of knowledge, though as secondary means. It accepts the traditional first three pramanas. Dvaita Vedanta calls the sources of valid knowledge as anupramana. Kevala pramana is defined as the knowledge of an object as it is. Dvaita recognizes perception, inference, and verbal testimony as anupramana. According to Jainism, the means of valid knowledge is knowledge of a thing as it is. It is direct, aparoksa, and indirect, paroxa. Direct is either practical, vaibhasika, or otherworldly, paramartika. Practical, vaibhasika, or otherworldly, paramartika. Practical is either perceptual knowledge, mati, or verbal, sarta. Otherworldly is either direct knowledge, kevala, verbal, sarta, or indirect, vikala. Indirect is of 5 types: smarti, pratya, bijna, tarka, anumana, and agama, according to some traditions. Inclusion, sambhava, tradition, etika, ektikya, pardashesa, supplement or remainder, and chesta, gesticulation, are pramanas, means of valid knowledge, logical proof, means of cognition. According to some traditions, sambhava, etikya, pardashesa, and gesticulation, or chesta, are all pramana, means of valid knowledge, logical proof, means of cognition. Pramana mulaka, mul has as root, mul is root, mulaka. Pramana mulaka, right knowledge, pramanya, truth, validity, pramata, the cognizer, the subject or the knower who cognizes. See triputi, limited experiencer, pramata nastika, erring heretic, infatuated atheist. Pramata nastika is an atheist apparently. Nastika, pramata, pramata nastika, the cognizer, limited experiencer. The cognizer, pramata nastika, an atheistic cognizer, right? Pramaya, objective cognition, objective knowledge, pramaya. One of the 4 factors of knowledge according to nyaya. See triputi. Pramiti, the active cognition. One of the 4 factors of knowledge according to nyaya. See triputi. Pramoda, seeing good in all things. According to sankhya, a type of miraculous power. Siddhi, which leads directly to the separation of primordial nature, prakriti, from the conscious individual, purusha. Pramoda, seeing good in all things. Pramuda, ignorant. According to Sankhya, a state of the mind, chitta, revealing ignorant attachment or instinct. Pramudita, joy in one's activities. See Bodhisattva. Prana, vital air, life breath, vitality. From the verb root an equals to breathe, plus pra equals fourth. Prana, vital air, prana, life breath, vitality. It is that air which is perceptible in the mouth and nostrils. Or it is the principle of vitality in the individual organism, whereby it is said to be all-pervading, invisible, and the life duration of all. The five vital airs, prana, are known as prana, the air which rises upwards, apana, that which moves downwards, vyana, that which these two are held, samana, that which carries the grosser material of food to apana and brings the subtler material to each limb, and udana, that which brings up or carries down what has been drunk or eaten. See pranayama. Prana, vital air, life breath, vitality, pranalinga, a form of the formless, siva. See linga sthala. Pranalingin, a stage of consciousness. See sthala. Pranam, to bow, to greet with respect. Pranayama, pranamaya kosha. Pranamaya kosha, the sheath of vital air. Second sheath encased in the body with its instrumentality of vital airs and the nervous system. It is located within the physical sheath. It is permeated by mental consciousness and bliss sheath. Sikosha. Pranava, the primeval world. Omkara, the word which refers to the mystic syllable Om. Pranavadin, type of carvaka, materialist, who considers the vital airs to be the soul. Pranayama, control of the breath, one of the 8 limbs of Raja Yoga. See Astanga Yoga. Control of the breath helps to bring the mind under control. It is the technique of regulating and restraining the function of breathing. Control of breath has 3 aspects: inhalation, rachaka, retention, kumbhaka, and exhalation, pardaka. The practice of pranayama aims at making the span of pardaka, rachaka, and kumbhaka longer. There are also pranayamas for purifying the blood, vitalizing the inner organs, etc. Pranidhana, the resolution to help beings to universal liberation, a vow taken by a bodhisattva. The resolution to help beings to universal liberation, a vow taken by a bodhisattva. Pranidhana. Pranayama, control of the breath, one of the 8 limbs of Raja Yoga. Control of breath has 3 aspects: rachaka, kumbhaka, and pardaka. Pranayamas for purifying blood, vitalizing the inner organs. Pranayama, control of the breath. Pranayama. Pranidhana, about taken by a bodhisattva to help beings to achieve universal liberation. Universal. Sata, liberation. Moksha, mukti. Pranidhana, prapaka, that which makes one attain an end. Sata moksha. Prapaka, prapanta, the world appearance. Prapantanasana, annihilation of the world. Prapana, the capacity of realization one has who has surrendered himself to God, a seeker of God. Prapati, complete and absolute surrender. According to visistadvaita Vedanta, it is one of the means to liberation. It has 6 constituents: anukulyasya sankalpa, to conceive what is in conformity with the will of God, is vara. Pratikulyasya varjanam, to reject what is disagreeable to isvara. Raksisya titi visvasa, to have firm faith that God is vara, which will save the self. Karpanya, the feeling that one is incapable to follow the prescribed path of action, karma, knowledge, jnana, and devotion, bhakti. Goptirtva varanam, to seek his vara alone as a protector, and atma niksepa, to surrender oneself to God, is vara in all meekness. This concept points to the idea that liberation may be attained through God's free grace. It is also called saranagati, or absolute confidence in the saving grace of the Lord. It is this path. There are no restrictions of place, time, mode, eligibility, and fruit. Praptasya prapti, praptasya prapti, attainment of the already attained. For example, finding the necklace around one's neck, which one thought had been lost, or discovering that one is the self, when one had thought oneself to be merely the body-mind complex. Looking for your phone, meanwhile your phone's in your hand. Okay? Prapta sya prapti. Prapta sya prapti. Prapti, the power to secure whatever is desired, extension and power to reach everywhere. Rasta Isvarya. Prapti. Prapya, that which is to be obtained. Prapyakarti, prapyakarti. Prapyakarti. The visual sense. Being constituted by light, travels to the spot where visible objects happen to be and perceives them. Except for the visual sense, most of the Indian systems, save nyaya, do not believe that the senses go about to meet their objects. Prabhada, prapyakarti, the visual sense. Pararabdha, karma, in action, remainder, accumulated past actions, the fruits of which are experienced now and cannot be erased, ripened, actions from pra equal before, the root rab, to begin. Prarabdha. To part of the accumulated effect of past deeds, which has begun to take effect with the creation of the present physical body, and which is responsible for the continuance of the body even after release is attained, is destroyed only when its force is spent and cannot be averted, avoided, or changed. Though either by knowledge or by grace, its impacts can be minimized or rendered nil to the perceiver, Siagami and Sanchita karma, Prarthana, prayer, invocation, benediction, Prasada, Prasada, grace, from the verb root sad, to sit, the prefix pra, to settle down, grace, favor, is a gift from God, an offering made to God, which is then distributed to devotees with his blessings. Clarity, tranquility, serenity, according to Dvaita Vedanta, is the ultimate cause of liberation. According to many systems, offerings which are first given to the Lord and then partaken of, they are said to purify the taints. We have no objects. See Asta Avarana. Prasada Linga, one of the forms of the formal Siva, see Linga Stala. Prasadi, state of conscience, see Stala. Prasanga, a method of argument employed only with the view in mind of destroying, reductio ad absurdum. This is a method employed by the madhyamika system to expose the inner contradictions inherent in any one particular philosophical position. Madhyamika system. Okay, madhyamika. Prasankhya, continued meditation. As a meditation theory, Prasankhya Vada, it was espoused by Mandana, positing that the Vedas enjoin both the performance of prescribed acts and meditation on the absolute Brahman as a means to liberation. He believed that meditation is necessary to get a direct and immediate knowledge of Brahman. Prasanta Vahita, continuity of a tranquil state of mind. Prasarana, expansion, see Karma. Prasida, well known, well established according to Advaita Vedanta. Knowledge of Vidya is known but not established by means of right knowledge. Pramanasida. Prasida, well known, well established. Prasida Verti, primary meaning, see Mukhya Verti. Prasna Upanishad, questions. This Upanishad is called because it is the form of questions, prasna, and answers. It consists of 6 sections in the form of 6 questions put to a seer rishi by 6 disciples seeking knowledge of the absolute Brahman, and the seer's answers to their questions. The subjects dealt with include the ultimate cause of this world, the supreme being, the nature of and power of the sound Om, the relation of the supreme to the things of the world. This Upanishad belongs to Atharva Veda. Some important personages in this Upanishad include Pippalada, Satyakama, Sukesha, Gardya, Kausalya, Bhargava, and Kabadi. Atharva Veda. Prastanatraya, the triple canon or foundation of Vedanta. It consists of the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Brahma Sutra. These works form the primary Shruti, the secondary Smrti, and the logical foundation Nyaya Prasthana of Vedanta, and all teach the same doctrine. Example Brahman Atman. Pratama Vyavasaya, primary cognition. Pratibandhaka, counteragent. Pratibha, special mental power, imaginative insight, intuition, ever creative activity or consciousness, the spontaneous supreme I, consciousness. Parasakti, Kordana Nyaya Vaisesika, it is the power to know the happening of a future event. See Pratibhanajnana, Kordana Indian aesthetics, it is a penetrative imagination that creates or apprehends what is given in a work of art. It is said to be the mental faculty which flashes forth ever new ideas. Thus, it belongs both to an artist and to a perceptive spectator. This type of imagination is more penetrative than the ordinary kind. Pratibhanajnana, extrasensory perception, highest knowledge, is a type of perception directly perceived by the mind. It is concerned with objects beyond one's senses. Example given, having an intuition that one's father will come tomorrow and then having such an event come to pass. Nyaya vaisesika recognizes this as a type of perception, while advaita calls it a case of inference. Pratibhasika, apparent illusory, the truth that exists only in appearance. Example given, a mirage or a rope snake. According to Advaita Vedanta, it is one of the three levels of reality from the relative point of view. See Vyavacharika and Parimartika. Pratimbhavada, reflection theory, the theory that the individual jiva is an appearance of the absolute Brahman as reflected in Nishans. This theory is propounded by the Vivarana school of Advaita Vedanta. Padmapada gives an analogy of a reflection in a mirror to contrast to the analogy of the red crystals that is given in Abhasavada. Pratijna, the first member of a five-membered syllogism, the thesis to be proved, recognition, proposition. The premise is to be proved in an inferential argument. Its purpose is to inform the other party of what is sought to be established and where. Example given, the hill has fire. See Anumana, Pratika, symbolic, Pratikramana, stepping to and fro, walking around. Pratikulyasya varjana, rejecting what is disagreeable to God as Vara. See Pratima, creator, image, symbol, reflection, idol, figure. Pratima, Pratipadya, Pratipadaka Bhava. Pratipadaka Bhava, the relation of our treatise with its subject material. This forms the relation sambandha in almost all scriptural sastra works. Pratipada Bhava. Pratipaksa Bhavana, reflecting on what is contrary to the observances and abstentions, yama and nyayama, and cultivating those traits which are opposed to these obstructions. It is a technique employed by Patanjali in his Raja Yoga. Prati Samkrama, transmission. Prati Sankhya Nirodha, a term for perfection, nirvana. It is an unconditional category, dharma, in the vaibhasika school. It refers to all categories, dharma, negated by knowledge. See asanskrta dharma. It is the final deliverance from bondage. Its essential characteristic is everlastingness. This state is brought about through the observance of the Eightfold Path. Pratisarga, the solution, one of the five topics or subject matter with which a pradhana should deal. See pradhana. Pratiseda, denial, negation. See pratiseda karma. Pratiseda vishaya, Pratisedavesaya, correlate the locus of a negated object. It is also called anuyogin. See anuyogin, pratiyogin, pratisedaya, pratisedya. That which is negated, counter, correlate. It is also known as the pratiyogin. See pratiyogin, anuyogin, pratisida, karma. Pratisida, karma, prohibited actions. Those actions which give sorrow as their results. Pratista, gross matter, earth, from prati, down upon, sta, to stand. Pratistapana, a logical category found in nyaya, vaisesika. Pratitantra siddhanta, an established conclusion held by one school or similar schools, but opposed by others. See siddhanta, pratiti, perception, apprehension. Pratitya samutpada, dependent origination, happening by way of a cause from pratitya, gone back, and hence cause samutpada, happening. Literally, it means this being given that follows. It is the central doctrine of the Buddha upon which his other teachings are based. It explains the causes of suffering, both relatively and absolutely. It is comprised of 12 links, nirgranthas, which perpetuate the wheel of causation. Those links which are due to one's past life are ignorance, avidya, and predisposition, samskara. Those links which are due to one's present life are consciousness, vijnana, name and form, nama, rupa, the six fields or the five sense organs, and the mind along with their objects, sadayatana, sense object, contact, sparsha, feeling, vedana, craving, tanha, and attachment, upadana. Those links which are due to one's future life are coming to be bhava, rebirth, jati, and old age, death, jara, marana. From each antecedent factor comes a succeeding one, and thus together they form the individual's chain of bondage to the wheel of birth and death. They have four characters: objectivity, necessity, invariability, and conditionality. Pratiyogin, counter-correlate. When two things are related, the correlate exists in the locus. Between a pot and the floor, the pot is correlate. The predicated object of non-existence is located in the counter-correlate. The counter-correlate is the locus itself. It is also called pratisedya, see anuyogin, pratyabhijna, recognition, remembrance, a name for Kashmir saivism. See tarka, the recognition or awareness that the individual is identical with the universal. The means of liberation in Kashmir saivism, it is the way that the individual realizes its identity with Lord Siva, knowledge from the resemblance of things. Pratyagatman, the self whose existence is understood only by turning one's vision inward and dwelling self. Pratyagdrashti, inward vision. Pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses from their objects beyond the mind, control of the mind. It is one of the 8 limbs of Raja Yoga. By the disciplining of the senses, the mind will be tamed. See Astanga Yoga, literally it means gathering toward oneself. Pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses from their objects beyond the mind, gathering toward oneself. Pratyahara. Pratyak, internal subjective. Pratyaksa, perception from the verb root aks, to reach, penetrate, embrace, plus prati, against, back. It is a valid means of knowledge, pramana, for every school of Indian philosophy. According to nyaya, it is knowledge generated by sense, object, contact. Later, naiyayikas defined it as, hold on, it is a valid means of knowledge, pramana, for every school of Indian philosophy. Pratyaksa, perception, aks, to reach, penetrate, embrace, prati, against. According to nyaya, it is knowledge generated by, according to naiyayikas, that's a new one. According to naiyayikas, nyaya, right? According to nyaya, vaisesika, nyaya, also known as anviksika and tarka. Then you got the according to naiyayikas, okay, defined it as direct apprehension so as to include God's perception and the supernormal perception of yogins. What distinguishes it from all other types of cognition is its immediacy. Two stages are distinguished: indeterminate, nirvikalpa, and determinate, saivikalpa. Generally, the former is bare awareness of an object, while the latter is a cognition of an object that is qualified. The former gives isolated sense data, while the latter compounds these elements, and subject-predicate knowledge arises. For further distinctions, see nirvikalpa, pratyaksa, and infra. The Nyaya school gives 6 normal, laukika types of perception: samyoga, samyokta, samavaya, samyokta, samaveta, samavaya, samaveta, samavaya, and visheshana, vishesya bhava, or vishesanata. It also lists 3 supernormal alaukika types: samanya, laksana, nanalaksana, and yogaja. Sanskrit for supernormal, alaukika. According to Sankhya, there are 2 types in perception: the indeterminate, nirvikalpa, and determinate, savikalpa, but its explanation is different from that of the Nyaya school. Sankhya says that the former is a vague awareness, which later becomes clear and distinct through analysis, synthesis, and interpretation. Thus, Sankhya does not adhere to a mosaic theory of knowledge, but more of an organic growth from the simple to the complex. Pratyaksa, perception. Sanskrit for normals, laukika. Sanskrit for supernormals, alaukika. Pratyaksa, perception. The madhyamika, got sankhya, got nyaya, got madhyamika, agree with Nyaya's definition, but interprets the 2 stages in perception differently. Indeterminate perception is simple observation or mere awareness. This knowledge is vague and indefinite. Class characteristics and specific features are not recognized here, whereas they are noted only in indeterminate perception. Indirect perception is not what has to be inferred on the basis of the subsequent determinate perception as in Nyaya, but it is an experienced stage of perception itself. Also, Nyaya accepts supernormal, alaukika, modes of perception, pratyaksa, perception. Also, Nyaya accepts supernormal, alaukika, modes of perception, pratyaksa, while Mimamsa does not. To be perceived, an object must be present and fit to be perceived, pratyaksa. Thus, the sensitive organs have their limitations, and what is beyond them is open only for the Veda to reveal. According to visistadvaita Vedanta, indeterminate nirvikalpa perception is not perception of a mere unqualified that. All knowledge in this school is of a qualified object. The indeterminate perception is perception for the first time, while determinate savikalpa perception signifies perception of the same objects on the second and subsequent occasions. Dvaita Vedanta accepts only determinate savikalpa perception. Knowledge, being both unqualified and objectless, is held to be impossible. Perception is defined as knowledge generated by sense object contact with both the sense organ and the object, free from defects. The Buddhists accept only indeterminate nirvikalpa perception. The Nyaya school recognizes both external bahya and internal manasa perceptions. According to Jainism, there are 2 types of perception: vyavahārika with sense organs and nija without sense organs. Nija is of 2 types: vikala imperfect or avadi, and manapāna Pradhyaya and Sokala perfect or Kevala Jnana. According to Advaita Vedanta, indeterminate nirvikalpa perception presents the absolute Brahman alone as its cognition. It is knowledge which does not apprehend any relatedness of the substantive and its qualifying attribute. Thus, it is not necessarily the first or initial perception, but any perception which is indeterminate. Examples of this include thou art that, tat tvamasi, or this is that, devadatta. Thriyam devadatta. Pratyaksika. Perceptual. Pratyaktva. Self-awareness. Pratyavamarsa. Pratyavamarsa, memory, retrospection. The main difference between indeterminate and determinate perceptions, according to visistadvaita Vedanta. Pratyavaya, sin, the meritorious actions. Pratyaya, suffix, condition for any verb root I equals to go, plus prati equals against back. Pravaha vicheda, uninterrupted tradition. Pravartana, imposition. Pravarti, action, endeavor, inclination, effort for any verb root vert equals to turn, plus pra equals forth. The passive active involvement in the world that is attached action, according to the vaisesika school, is an effort to possess some object. Pravarti vijnana, evolving consciousness. Pravarti vijnana, sense experience. This is the mind of the common people according to the yogacara. It is a product of storehouse consciousness, alaya vijnana. Pravarti vijnana. Prayaschita, atonement through various prescribed acts. Prayatna, effort, conscious activity. According to the vaisesika school, effort or conscious activity has three distinctions: pravarti, nivarti, and jivanyoni. Effort for possessing some object, effort to get rid of something, activity for procreation. Prayoga nirdesha, actual discrimination as present, past, and future. See nirdesha. Prayojana, purpose, the aim of a work. It is one of the 16 categories of the Nyaya school. See Padartha in chart number 6. Prema, love, divine love. Prema. Preta, ghost soul, deceased individual who has not yet received ritual offerings. Bhava, cycle of birth and death. Preyas, pleasing worldly gains. See Shreyas, priti, love. Preyam, dear, pleasing. Prosadopavasa, a jaina, through code of conduct dealing with fasting procedures. Partakatva, mutual difference, separateness. Prithvi, the earth. See Mahabhuta, Pucha Brahmavadin. Brahma Vadin. One who holds that the absolute Brahman is the indeterminate bliss and not the blissful, in the Anadamayadi Karana. Pudgala's matter. Pudgala, it is a real, non-conscious, independent substance according to Jainism. It is uncreated and eternal, as that which undergoes modifications by combinations and dissociations. It is the four types: aggregate, skandha, aggregate occupying space; skandha desha, aggregate occupying limited space; skandha pradesha, atoms; pramanu, puja, worship, honor, adoration, ritual, ceremony, worship, from the root puj, to worship, to honor, to serve, to collect, or bring together, to shine, is an intelligent bringing together of luminous objects or elements in order to honor or worship. Is the ritual which employs the use of an image. Marti, the term is used to denote a ritual of worship of an image or an iconic form of a deity, as well as any other object that is considered to possess special powers and be sacred. They are performed to receive the deity's blessings and to develop one's own inner divinity. They involve three actions. The devotee presents an offering to the deity. The devotee is granted the blessed sight, darshana, of the deity. The devotee in turn receives a blessed article from the worship, prasad. Three things are usually associated with the worship of a deity: a geometrical design, yantra, or chakra, in which the deity resides; mystic syllables, mantra, by which one invokes deity; and images. Murti, Sanskrit for images is murti. Sanskrit for worship is prasad. Sanskrit for sight is darsana. Pujari, the priest who performs temple worship. Action performed in worship. An altar with images of the guru or deity and objects used in worship. Punarjanma, rebirth, birth again. Punya, merit, meritorious acts, actions which produce happiness, from the root pun, to act piously. Siyajiva, purdaka, in breathing, inhalation. Si pranayama, pardana, ancient, old, from the verb root pur, to go before, proceed. There are 18 major puranas, or sacred books, containing stories, legends, and hymns about the creation of the universe, the incarnations of God, and the instructions of various deities, as well as the spiritual legacies of ancient sages and kings, the legendary histories of India, and the repositories of popular religious creeds. They traditionally deal with 5 topics: creation, sarga, dissolution, pratisarga, lineage, vamsa, epochs, manvantarani, and the legends of future lineage, vamasanu charitam. The 18 major Puranas are divided into 3 categories: those which are sattvic and honor Vishnu, Bhagavata, Padma, Naradiya, Garuda, and Varaha. Those which are rajasic and honor Brahma are Brahma, Vevarta, Bhavesya, Brahmanda, Vamana, Markandeya. Those which are tamasic and honor Shiva are Shivavayu, Matsya, Linga, Skanda, Agni, and Karma. Traditionally deal with 5 topics: creation, sarga, dissolution, pratisarga, lineage, vamsa, epochs, manvantarani, and the legends of future lineage. Vamasanu charitam, Purdi saha, bearing all pains arising from hunger, thirst, cold, with fortitude. Purdna, full, complete. Purnima, full moon, the day of the full moon, the 15th tithi of the bright fortnight, often an auspicious time for holy celebrations. Purdohita, priest, class of Vedic priest. Purdohita, Purusha, spirit, individual soul, person, indwelling form of God, cosmic person. One of the 2 basic categories of the Sankhya system. It is pure conscious, unattached, and unrelated to anything. It is non-active, unchanging, eternal, and pure. There are an infinite number of individual souls. According to Kashmir saivism, it is enveloped in the 5 sheaths of time, restriction, desire, knowledge, and portion of time. Kala, Niyati, Raga, Vidya, and Kala. It is universal self, appearing under limitation as the many individual souls. According to Advaita Vedanta, it is fundamentally one. It is the eternal witness, the modificationless, the one who knows the body, really speaking. The Supreme Self, Paramatman, is one and the only Purusha. The Purusha Sukta describes the primal producer as thousand-headed, thousand-eyed, thousand-footed, immanent, and transcendent, covering the earth on all sides and extending beyond the length of 10 fingers. All that is, has been, and will be, 1/4 of him is all beings. 3/4 of him are what is immortal in heaven. Depending on the context, the word may refer to either the individual soul or God Supreme. Purdu Sakarda, divine mediator, personal effort. According to visistadvaita Vedanta, Vishnu's consort Lakshmi plays the role of Purdu Sakarda. Purdu Tantra, person dependent. There are 3 options open to a doer of an action. A person may do the action, may not do the action, or may do the action otherwise. Action karma is person dependent, while knowledge, according to Advaita Vedanta, is object dependent. See Vastu Tantra. Purdu Sarta, the 4 goals of human life. The Hindu theory of values, they are wealth, artha, desire, kama, righteousness, dharma, and liberation, moksha. The first is the economic value, the second is the psychological value, the third is the moral value, and the fourth is the spiritual value. Wealth, artha, the economic value, and desire, kama, the hedonistic or acquisitive value, are the secular values of life. Dharma tells how the secular life should be lived. It is the ethical or moral value, and along with moksha, it is a spiritual value. Dharma is the instrumental value leading to moksha. All the 4 values are truly vital and must be integrated. Artha and kama are means values or instrumental values for life's goal. Dharma is the regulative integrating value. Moksha is an intrinsic and end value. Purusartha may be viewed from 2 aspects. Primarily, it signifies something to be attained for its own sake. This is the intrinsic aspect. It also involves whatever serves as a means to it. This is the instrumental aspect. Thus, it may be defined as an end which is consciously sought to be accomplished either for its own sake or for the sake of utilizing it as a means to the accomplishment of a further end. Purusottama, the Supreme Self, the Lord. See Ottama Purusastvanya Paramatmetya Tidarta, from Purusa, spirit person, Uttama, highest. Pardava, the former. Texts. The 14 canonical books of the Jainas and antecedent, all the works are lost now. See Angas. Pardava Paksa. Pardva Paksa, prima facie view, the opponent's view, prior viewpoint, generally. In all Indian philosophical work, first the opponent's view is given, and then, after this view is rejected, one gives the final view, siddhanta. Pardva Paksa. Pardvavat. Like the previous, the classification of vira inference. See vira. It proceeds from a perceived cause to an unperceived effect. Example given, the inference of rain from the perception of dark, heavy clouds. See anumana. It is based on the observed concomitance of the specific major and middle terms. Puspa, flower. Pusti marga, from form of devotion. Bhakti, putra, son, putra.